Thanksgiving weekend, we are very thankful that you took the time to visit us here on the Fox 54 Weekend Review. I'm Kenesha Dees. This is the weekend of giving thanks. We'll show you how your community marked the occasion by reaching out to others. Plus, we ask the all-important question, what are you thankful for? We'll hear some of your responses. Well, Alabama A&M University's Marching Maroon and White led this year's Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. We caught up with them as they made their final preparations for this trip, which was important in more ways than one. Also, we continue our look at cyclist safety in the city of Huntsville and how advocacy groups and city officials hope to work in tandem to improve infrastructure. But we do begin this holiday recap on a somber note. A Huntsville mother will not see her 15-year-old son following the discovery of remains in the Sylacauga area. But there is some sense of closure. The suspects are in custody at this time. Huntsville police released that remains believed to be Logan's were discovered in Sylacauga, about half an hour from Talladega. HPD has charged 3 suspects involved in Logan's death. Here's more from today's press conference.
We have notified his family, and we send our condolences to him since this is not the outcome any of us wanted.
The Fugitive Task Force in Sylacauga located our offender, Jamarius Logan, in Alexander City at a local motel.
They were acquaintances in the area, and so they definitely knew each other.
Well, Torrey Gaddis was charged with capital murder in connection to Logan's death. U.S. Marshals located Gaddis in Alexander City. He was already wanted for 2 assault warrants. Latoya Wells and Corey Wilson are charged with kidnapping related to their involvement in Logan's disappearance. All 3 are booked into the Madison County Jail. Now, in addition, Gaddis' wife, not pictured here, has been arrested on charges of hindering prosecution. She is expected to be extradited to Huntsville at a later date.
Just a day after news broke that missing Huntsville teen Jamarius Logan is believed to be dead, his family gathered today with broken hearts to honor his memory.
Because he deserves our recognition of who he was. Yes, he was 15, but he had so much that he gave.
He was a child, and he was abused. I don't care. You're 15 years old, you put yourself in a grown man position. Guess what you is? You're still a child.
Now Logan's family and the community are left with the memories of the young man they knew and loved.
Look at these babies out here. Destined to happen again if we don't learn from our mistakes. Don't let this be in vain. He did not live 15 years old for nothing. There's either a message or there's a lesson.
In Huntsville, Jasmine Bird, Fox 54 News.
Today, Decatur Mayor Tab Bowling speaks for the first time after Chief Todd Pinion released his review of the internal investigation of Steve Perkins. Pinion did say policies were violated the night Perkins was shot and killed by Decatur police. The mayor sharing he anticipates recommending discipline after getting the determinations and formal statement of the formal charges on Wednesday. Hearings on any proposed discipline is expected for December 4th. Here's a listen to the mayor.
In any hearings, I will hear the facts of the case and decide if discipline is warranted and to what extent. Under Alabama law, any decision can be appealed to the personnel board if any officer is disciplined. The Decatur, or that would be any employee. The Decatur Police Department has committed, and I have committed, to make these findings, hearings public.
Well, following the mayor's statements, members of the community shared their remarks, with one woman providing a reminder of why so many people are speaking in the first place.
I basically don't have any questions for you, but I do have a statement. That was intentional. That was a 6 second that I put on to remind you as you're going through your decisions, all of you, and your recommendations. That was the time that Steve had to respond to what he didn't know was outside of his house.
And despite the council's statements today, community members still weren't pleased with how city leaders have communicated their investigation to the public.
Going through this tragedy taught this community a huge and very important lesson. You all don't have much idea of what you're doing when it comes to the community and communicating.
And community activists pledged to keep marching and speaking until the officers involved face consequences in the death of Steve Perkins.
The community of Decatur has been honoring Steve Perkins in a multitude of ways since his death back in September. This week, they took part in a fast, and today they broke that fast by giving thanks even in this most difficult time.
What do we do when our reality touches our belief? What do you believe? Everybody have different beliefs, and it's all right to have different beliefs because it's your prerogative to have that belief. But here it is when we're facing a reality.
The reality of the holidays can be tough right now for the Perkins family, and the community is coming together to show support.
Reality is this world or the state of the world in which we're facing now. Understand that our reality is controlled by what we think.
Communion is a covenant, and covenant unifies, just brings us together. That's what it's all about.
Outside the Morgan County Courthouse this morning was a time of fellowship and introspection on how to give thanks in the good times and the bad.
With Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving it institutes love, and if we're gonna beat this thing, it's gonna take love. Love got to keep us, hold us, sustain us, and we got to implement it, apply it, so we can get the results that we want.
And to get those results, there is more needed action.
Whatever you're thinking at this moment is actually shaping your future. But what happens when you're mad and when you're angry and when you're upset with what's going on in your community and all you have in your mindset is anger?
We got to go in here. That's the enemy's camp. We got to go into the enemy's camp. We got to stay prayed up, feed our spiritual man, because we're dealing with spiritual wickedness in high places. God's got to change their heart to get the results that we want.
Until then, this call for justice isn't going away anytime soon.
We still here for the cause, and the cause is for justice. Justice for Steve Perkins, because this city have been blanketed with inequality for years, decades, but a change is going to come.
For Fox 54 News, I'm Ken McCoy.
All right, a Danville man pled guilty to 4 counts of capital murder and 1 count of first-degree assault today. It's in relation to a triple homicide that happened in Morgan County 3 years ago. Carson Peters pled guilty to killing his ex-wife, her sister, and her sister's boyfriend back in May of 2020. The Morgan County District Attorney's Office says on the day this all happened, Decatur police was called to respond to a shooting. The caller, Mary Kenny, advised she had been shot. When officers arrived, they located Teresa Peters, Tammy Smith, and James Miller dead with gunshot wounds. Kenny was transported to Huntsville Hospital. She fortunately survived. Well, a news conference was held today where we hear straight from the district attorney on Peters' plea agreement.
So on Tuesday of this week, I received word that all of the family representatives of all the victims in these cases had decided that they wanted us to enter the plea negotiations with regards to life without the possibility of parole. Doing the math, I figured that it was very likely that Mr. Peters would die in prison before any death penalty was implemented.
All right, well, District Attorney Scott Anderson says now that Peters has been sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. He's glad that the family of the victims got the closure they deserved. Governor Kay Ivey in Lauderdale County today. Ivey helped break ground on a new workforce development center. Ivey reserved $3 million for the project in the 2024 Educational Trust Fund. The new facility is located off of Highway 72 in Florence. Aviation here in Alabama plays a crucial role in our economic development. The industry helps business come into the state and create jobs. Recent grants from the FAA will help 5 local airports expand those efforts. Our Ken McCoy has more.
I always say Alabama starts with an A because we are aviation.
The Federal Aviation Administration has awarded more than $5 million in grant funding to 5 airports in North Alabama. Huntsville International and Pryorfield Regional were two of those recipients.
We're in the third year of the 5-year bipartisan infrastructure law grants, and specifically the airport improvement grant. And so this year we were able to receive about $4.2 million. This money in the AIG grant can be used for runways, for taxiways, for infrastructures related to the terminal and concourse.
We are kind of in what I'll say is the age of economic development here at Pryorfield. So at a regional level, we are awarded $294,000 in this AIG grant from the BIL law that was signed by the Biden administration a couple years back.
Swanstrom shares that the Huntsville International funds will more than likely continue to improve on the customer experience.
Since we just received the allocation, we really have not earmarked that for any project yet, but I can tell you that we have a lot of construction ongoing at Huntsville all the time to improve the customer experience.
Fox says Pryorfield will use the money to help with expansion.
It's going to go right into the pipeline that's going to help build the infrastructure that's going to create jobs here at Pryorfield in the state of Alabama. More specifically, this grant is going to be tied in to our great expansion project to the northwest. Phase 1 is going to be an access road and a taxiway.
And these grants come in handy to help fill in gaps in state funding.
We're very fortunate here in the state of Alabama. We don't have as many funds available through the state system as our neighboring states. So we only have, this is a kind of a record number, in my opinion. We have about $8 million dedicated to 74 airports across the state of Alabama. We've obviously got a tremendous airport system that is all screaming the same message, which is let's invest back into the airport system. It's an investment. Let's get those funds back to our airport so that we can do more economic development.
For Fox 54 News, I'm Ken McCoy.
Also is MoJo's annual Bikes or Bust. It's near Ashley Home Store on Memorial Parkway. This is the 21st year. 104.3 ZYP's very own Mojo Jones is dedicating 5 days to this event. He spends 104 hours high in the sky collecting bikes and bicycle donations for kids to love. Let's see how Mojo is holding up.
I dedicate 5 days to this event. I come up into this platform. I live here for those entire 104 hours. And while I'm here, we're collecting bicycles, donations of bicycles for children here in the Tennessee Valley.
And as you can imagine, in terms of the wish lists and what they want every Christmas, bikes are always high on that list. So the opportunity to be able to give a bike to a child in foster care, to potentially thousands of children in foster care, is sort of really Christmas magic.
We really lack a coordinated network. Where you actually have destinations and origins of trips that actually make sense.
Cyclists in the city suggest that the current routes plainly just doesn't make sense, leading to safety concerns.
Yes, of course, there's personal responsibility, and there are mistakes that drivers make, that bicyclists make, that pedestrians make, but you have to factor those in. And the safe way to do that is to provide more infrastructure and better infrastructure.
In order to be proactive, the city adopted Vision Zero.
Vision Zero really is a national trend towards designing streets for zero traffic deaths. It also isn't restricted solely to, say, pedestrians or cyclists. The goal really is to reduce traffic deaths in all modes.
A study done by Gonzalez shows why plans like this are needed.
I think it's averaging 49 pedestrian crashes per year, and bicycle crashes are far fewer. I think there's like a third of them, bicycle crashes per year. And it's really a problem. Most pedestrian crashes especially result in severe injury or death.
Macys shares there was a report done over the summer that shows where these little hotspots are.
There are little hotspots, but they're kind of all over the community. In some cases, they're where you might expect, areas where there's a lot of car traffic and a lot of incidents anyway, just with cars. But there are also areas, that maybe aren't as dense that you don't expect. And in those cases, you can go and look and say, all right, there's not a whole heck of a lot of traffic here. Why are these things happening?
The city is looking into ways to enhance the current infrastructure. but it's a process.
Well, the one thing you want to do is make sure you're doing it efficiently, right? You don't want to add them in areas where they don't make sense. The MPO is charged with maintaining a bike plan. Well, that hasn't had a really comprehensive update in well over a decade. So we anticipate this probably January, February, kicking off a comprehensive update to our bike plan for the entire MPO region, identifying, where are gaps in our bike infrastructure, what are kind of best practices for building out new bike infrastructure. And a lot of that came from the bike community really expressing an interest.
For Fox 54 News, I'm Ken McCoy.
If these walls could talk.
I played with Lego as a child. It was my main toy.
Or should I say bricks? They'd tell you.
I thought that I had outgrown them.
You're never too old to build with them.
My Lego hobby just turned into a full-time profession.
Brick Universe, a family-operated.
We built Lego as a family starting back when we were all little kids.
Traveling Lego fan event has landed here in the Rocket City for the weekend.
We're very big on getting people get off their screens, off the video games, and enjoying what they can build using their hands, being creative.
At the Von Braun Center, both kids and adults can be inspired to build their own creations through seeing the work of professional Lego artists and local Lego artists.
People can meet the artists, talk with them, neat tricks and tips on how can I build a special piece. And we also have vendors, so a lot of people might be shopping for the holiday season.
Each artist having their own style and influence, some being guided by architecture and history.
Grand Central Terminal, which is right here, took me about 2 months to design and create.
A lot of the fun comes in sort of reimagining different pieces, like you got tons of little statuettes in tons of different colors throughout here because not all marble was white, as it turns out.
Others by life itself.
I'm personally a kidney donor, a living kidney donor, and so this is called the Gift of Life. And this is a tree that I made about the gift that you can give by donating a kidney to somebody.
Or culture.
This dragon, it's called the Libra dragon, and it's like based on the Western zodiac, but then also has Asian kind of influences and stuff.
But one thing is the same. Their childhood experience with Legos has assembled a universe of endless possibilities.
My hope is that everyone walks away feeling inspired to build something. I hope that everyone sees themselves in a build somewhere in this venue, that they feel represented.
More information about the event can be found at fox54.com.
It's a big night at Huntsville Botanical Garden. The garden welcoming the public to its first night of Galaxy of Lights walking nights. Some of our very own Fox 54 team members were there and gives us a look.
Well, I'm Sturna Meadows.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman.
And this is the second time in our series of doing fun things.
We haven't come up, the title is still a work in progress, but
I think tonight is the perfect night to have a second night in our series. So.
Exactly. We're at Galaxy of Lights. This is the first night of walking nights. There are many more to come.
And right now we're by these trees that sync to the music.
I mean, these trees are really cool, aren't they? I mean, I kind of want these in my front yard, but I don't know how the HOA would feel about that.
Yeah, I think you have a problem there.
Yeah. So do you think we should do a little exploring, show the people what they're going to get?
Yep, absolutely.
All right,
let's check it out.
This is the 28th season for Galaxy, so it's a long-standing tradition in Huntsville. It's built right here in-house, it's designed in-house, and we even have retired engineers that have come out to volunteer and help us put it together and design it. Several years ago, or when I was a kid, and it was driving nights, and that's when it was driving only. Now we have walking nights too, and they're two totally different paths.
We're just having a great time on the swings.
We are.
Are you gonna let me have a turn?
No, I'm not.
We've been working on this for almost a whole year. So excited about it. This is the Whimsical Woods. And as you can see, we have these beautiful trees that are totally wrapped and lit. We've got more than 200 of these light poles, and they're synchronized with music. And so the music is making the light poles dance and jump. We have dog walking nights too. So you can come in with your leashed four-legged friend and just ask that you please clean up after them, because dogs will be dogs.
How does this rate on the swing scale?
I think this is, I would give it more points because of the lights, so 10 out of 10.
It really is truly something that's here for the Huntsville community, and we want everybody to be able to have a chance to come and see it.
Are you gonna dance with me?
I will not dance now.
I know Jordan doesn't dance, but maybe tonight, the holiday spirit. We got our hot chocolate. wonderful edition of Galaxy of Lights. So
We made it to the whimsical forest.
we did. This is brand new. We love it.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's gorgeous, and we're gonna go enjoy it now.
Yeah, let's
so,
go.
cheers.
Cheers to you.
The majority of our students have never been to New York before, so this is going to be huge for them.
We're really excited. It's been a long work in progress, but it'll be very rewarding when we go out there and show them what we got.
This is my second time going to New York, and it's my first time going as a tourist. I get to perform, but it's really just the payoff to all my hard work, all of our hard work.
You cannot be this loud, the camera's gonna be right here.
I feel like I'm ready for it. You know, it's my first time going to New York, you know, and we're representing a lot of HBCUs, so I'm kind of ready for it.
The Marching Maroon and White Band of Alabama A&M University is just days away from performing at the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade. And weeks of practices aren't the only thing that led up to this moment.
I'm looking at you while you out here course out. Pick up your feet and march. You'll be the very person the camera picks out. The process started way back in 2021 when I watched the Thanksgiving Day Parade and I saw two familiar bands, Hampton University, I went to grad school there, and also the University of Alabama was in the parade. So I decided right then to pull out my laptop and figure out what to do in order to get in the parade. I did all of that. Within 2 months, we were accepted, and it was excitement ever since then.
But as the old saying goes, practice does make perfect.
Every day from 4 to about 9:30, we all together, the whole band working together. We either on the field, we in the band room working on music, running it over and over again, making sure we got it under our fingers.
We really choreograph everything that we do, so the fact that we get to take our own choreography to the Big Apple is amazing. We have a show-style band, so we'll definitely be bringing that show-style flair to New York.
What you just saw is all student generated. We as a staff, we have to edit and say, okay, keep this, scratch that, because, you know, we want to make sure that we're representing the university and everything looks good and everything is symmetrical.
And not only will they be representing the university, they'll be the only HBCU in the parade.
Mouse College, I think in 2003, 2002 was the first HBCU in Alabama to do the parade. And this year we are the only HBCU, so that feels pretty good to be in company of others that want to follow us.
For Fox 54 News, I'm Ken McCoy.
Today over in Limestone County, the spirit of giving was all over. Refuge Church partnered up with One Generation Away to give away 20,000 pounds of free groceries to the Athens and Limestone County community at Athens High School. The food assistance nonprofit says their mobile pantry travels throughout North Alabama, Middle Tennessee, and the Florida Panhandle, sharing food with those facing food insecurity. And the best part, anyone is welcome, no questions asked.
We actually have enough food for 300 families, and so unfortunately we had to cut it off at the 300th car. And so that's bittersweet for us because we want to help as many people as we possibly can, but there were probably 400 to 450 cars that were in line. There were some people in line as early as 4 a.m. this morning to get groceries.
So we have drinks, we have produce, we have the canned goods, the staple goods.
For One Generation Away to sponsor a truck for a food event like this, the cost is about $7,000. Also, another community giveaway held in Athens today, Feed the Community, hosted by Pleasant Grove Church. The morning started off with free turkey bag giveaways. After that, free Swamp John's fish meals were provided for lunch, all in light of giving back and spreading joy during the holiday season.
We know that during the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, there's much needed and people are suffering. And if we can give them something prior to Thanksgiving, it's just a blessing. It's a blessing for the church. It's a blessing for the community. It's just a blessing in general. And we're just trying to do something that make God smile upon us. So that's why we do it.
This is Pleasant Grove's 10th year hosting Feed the Community, and they've served almost 6,000 people over the years.
A local volunteer organization called Food for Us spreading some Thanksgiving cheer by serving the less fortunate at the Salvation Army. A few of the goodies on today's menu are green beans, mac and cheese, dressing, water, dessert, and soda. On top of that, Food for Us also provided goodie bags with toothbrushes, toothpaste, and bread to go.
They cooked everything. They came in last night and set everything up, and they came back this morning at 9 a.m. and they've been here ever since.
Just being able to give back to your community, it makes you feel as if, you know, I had things that people were not able to have. So it's just like I feel as if I had a home-cooked meal, let the others have a home-cooked meal, you know.
The spirit of giving, absolutely. Well, a second Thanksgiving meal will be provided at the Salvation Army on Thanksgiving Day. That meal will be provided by a volunteer organization from Atlanta. Thanksgiving came early for hundreds in the Rocket City who gathered in Big Spring Park for the 5th annual One Table celebration. This free event encourages residents to come out and share a meal, a conversation, and some fun with someone they don't know. Target and Village of Promise hosted the event.
This is really important because this was something that was co-created by our stores, distribution centers, and the local partnership with Village of Promise and the local community.
This One Table event is all about connection and making sure that we bridge the gap with everybody involved in the community.
So I was invited with my two friends over there, them and him. And we came down and just ate, and we'll join company with everybody. Just having a good time. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving indeed. Love it. Well, Target also surprised guests with 500 boxes of free Thanksgiving sides. So our Fox 54 team thought it would be fun to hear from you, the community, about what is special in your life. Let's take a look.
Well, Jordan and I are at Big Spring Park asking people what they're most thankful for this holiday season.
Can about guarantee they're not thankful for the weather, but, you know, asking people what they're thankful for just seems like something you're supposed to do this time of year. We even brought bribes. We have tiny footballs.
So I hope people will talk to us. We'll see.
I guess.
Stay tuned. What are you most grateful for with your family? What do you love most about them?
I think just spending like quality time together, just because I feel like we get to FaceTime and we're so lucky to be able to do that these days. But I think actually being in the same room together, I feel like there's a presence that you don't get.
I am thankful to be back from college for a short period of time to spend time with family.
What are you thankful for this year?
Honestly, I'm thankful for my friends and my family, and especially my grandmother. And then they just been there supporting me throughout my ways and everything that I've done so far.
I'm gonna have to say friends and family too. My mom's always been right there next to me, helping me everywhere I go.
I understand your mom's over here, so I guess you want to share what you love most about her?
I love that she spends so much time and so much effort to take care of me and make sure that me and all my siblings are happy.
I'm really thankful for my friends. I wouldn't really be anywhere without you guys. I love you.
In latest breaking news, reindeer are a thing of the past. How do you feel about green bean casserole?
I'm actually a very picky eater, so the ham, the mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, those are my go-to on the plate. So,
okay, so
nothing
green
or anything like that shows up on my plate.
Okay, that's a good answer. Sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin.
This is a great family. Look at them.
Jordan, go walk. Run. Well, Jordan, I guess it was a pretty successful day.
I would call this a very successful afternoon. We learned what people are thankful for. Mm-hmm. More importantly, we learned that it is pumpkin pie over sweet potato pie. And aside from the tiny footballs, that's what matters in this world.
The tiny footballs were a key component in people talking to us today.
That's what I have learned. If I ever need people to talk to me, I am going to bribe them with a tiny branded squishy football.
So there you have it. I guess that's all you really need to know.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving and go Tiny Footballs.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Once more, a great big thank you to those of you out there who trust our team here at Fox 54 to keep you informed. We have plenty of ways to keep you in the loop: our website, our mobile app, and our 24/7 streaming platform, Fox 54+. No matter where or how you get your news about life in North Alabama, we thank you deeply for choosing Fox 54. That's it for this Week in Review. Join us next weekend as we cover more of the week's top stories, plus highlight North Alabama at its best.